In this video, we are going to know the POSTMAN tool, which is a very useful software to help us when testing our backend services. This tool provides functionalities that we can easier make requests, HTTP requests, and we can choose the method of the communication with great facility. So we can make requests with the get, post, put, delete, read, and many other methods that the HTTP request could be performed. So it's quite good because we can test the backend services without having to program clients, to program front-end software to verify if this software works or not. Okay, so let's see a few examples of how can we explore the Postman. First, when we are utilizing, we create collections. One collection could be one or more, a set of requests. Okay, in this case, my collection has here four services. Okay, and actually here we have 3 ones with get, and this last one is a new one I was just creating here. It will be with post. Don't know why it's not saved as post, but okay, we are going to test that together. So let's take a look. First of all, we have one service that's the contacts. This service could be parameterized if in its header field we say we accept XML, its output will be sent as XML, as we can see here. If we call that without informing this parameter, that is this case, by default, the same service with the same method will return to us the JSON JSON format. So actually, it's depending how the backend was programmed, but we can test both ways for doing that, especially because even with the get method that we can test sometimes directly using web browsers, with web browser it's difficult for us to write the header parameters before performing one request. So this kind of demand is very easier to be done with the Postman. So in this case, we can see here we have the request object. Then here we say which URL we are going to perform the request, with which method we are going to request this endpoint. We can give you a friendly title to that, for don't have to be the URL directly, because sometimes, as we see here, both cases here, this contacts XML output and the contacts JSON output both has the same URL, but they perform different operations because of a parameter in the head fields. In this case, JSON without any additional field, in the XML output with one additional field. So we save the requests here. Our request is composed by one URL, one method, and a few parameters. We can then inform what are the carry parameters. There's some authorization parameter we would like to set in our package. What are the header fields we are going to utilize? Do you want to write something inside the body of the request? So there is a lot of functionalities we can test here. Basically, every kind of HTTP request we can simulate the carrying without problem. So here we already take a look with the request that looks for contacts. That this first one have one special parameter in the body, inform it wants to have it as XML. So if you send that, we got the XML output. Look, if you clear that, and now we don't want this parameter anymore. I'm going to clear that. Send that again, output as JSON, not more XML. So you see how easy it is to test the implementation, different formats. Okay, now let's take a look here in this another get request that's going to look for all messages sent by one specific user. We say the user ID. We need to give here one array with all message objects. So here we have Calling that for user 5, you have here the output. If you change that for user 4, we have here another output. User 3, we have here another output. So here we have one way that make it easier to us to test this kind of requests. But now let's do a different test. We don't want to do that with get. We want to do a saving operation, an insert operation. We are going to use the post method. So let's say a name. Okay, you will be the new message service. This is the name of my service. Okay, it already updated here. Its method its request is going to be done with the post, and we are going to inform 3 parameters. Who is the user that's sending the message? For which another user this message is going to be sent, and the third parameter, what the message we are going to transmit. So here I'm going to make a question for him, for the user 3. Okay, so here we have our message. And now let's run that. And here is our output. The server, after receiving one request in this endpoint with this method, with these parameters, it has executed and gives us this feedback. It has one affected row, the inserted row has the ID 36, it gives us some kind of feedback. Now, remember, if you take this service we have executed before, the user 5 had just 3 messages. If you call again the service, we have now 4 messages. Message 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because the previous service using the post method is performing properly its operation. If you save it here, now we have saved our change. It changes here the type of the request to post. So this video had this aim, that was to show how to explore and how to perform requests using the POSTMAN software. And I hope you can use this tool when testing our backend services. If you have some doubt or some contribution, please write down in the comments. And thank you for watching.